Gumshoe! Gumshoe!
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped the contest. McCaulay in the blue corner is the winner.
Crook now just beginning to get on top with much sharper, more accurate punching with the left hand. Oh, as I say that, so he takes two to the mouth, out comes his gum shield, and up comes the standing count. I do have a way of bringing these things on. Gum shield returned to the corner for washing. And Crook is perfectly all right. Second round. So that's the first real shock of this final at lightweight. With two very good punches from McCaulay. First thing he's really done. And suddenly Crook was in a bit of trouble. And McCaulay now showing considerable strength inside. And Crook's edge has completely disappeared. Good little uppercut there from McCaulay again. Eamon McAuley from the Hogarth Club in West London. And now it's Crook's turn to come back, a left hook. So they've had a counter-piece now in this second round. Some round. Closing seconds of the second, he's caught McCaulay again. Oh, and he's got Crook. Now it's gone the other way. Would you believe it? Oh, Crook walked right on to an almighty punch. And he stopped. It's all over. One moment he seemed to have it in the bag, and the next moment McCaulay, who's on his knees, is the ABA champion, and he cannot understand it. And he's led back to his corner by the referee, as you can see, badly hurt, damaged to the nose, and what a remarkable finish that was. Here we go again. This was absolutely out of the blue again. McCaulay seemed to be on his way to defeat, and then suddenly he produced a punch, a right hand, and what a right it was.
referee for this contest is our referee for the evening, Mr. Larry O'Connell from Kent in England. Let's hear applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
The first time in the Ulster Hall ring as a professional for Eamon McAuley, the 20-year-old who left Belfast when he was in his early teens, went then to Manchester and to London and went on to take the ABA lightweight title in 1985. McCaulay in the plain trunks, rather dark pinkish shade, and his opponent, the experienced Ramiki from Croydon. McCaulay, his second professional fight, his first in May in Wembley when he outpointed another experienced man, Dean Bramall, over 6 rounds. And McCaulay going 6-3s. Oh, that's what it's down for the first time in his career. Now, McCaulay, a reputation as a very, very solid puncher indeed. And when he had as a great uncle the late and sadly missed Rinty Monaghan, that's the sort of pedigree that this young man has. Another member of the Eastwood stable, the youngest member of the Eastwood stable, managed by Barney Eastwood and trained by Eddie Shaw. And a useful opponent indeed for him in the 24-year-old Les Ramiki from Croydon. McCaulay doing a little bit of wrestling, the very experienced referee Larry McConnell just separating them. Mickey's been in with some pretty useful men like Mo Hussein and Keith Foreman, so it's a considerable test for young McCaulay in only his second professional fight. Yes, and again, McCaulay doing a little swinging, and Larry O'Connell just telling him that. It's nice from McCaulay, a couple of nice short left hands.
Fight!
Very good combination of head and body from McCaulay at the end of this first round. Just taking his time, he doesn't want to rush things. And the right hand inside, and one from Ramiki just to pay him back. There's the 20-year-old Eamon McAuley. Robbie McAllister having a word with him. B.J. Eastwood coming in to have a word as well. Former Ulster and Ireland juvenile champion when he was with the Sacred Heart Club, but left there in his mid-teens to go across to England.
Second to ring.
Eamon McAuley in the dark pink trunks, a little bit slow to come out of his corner. Les Ramiki in black with the white stripe, the 24-year-old from Croydon, born in Manchester, managed and trained by Freddie Ricks.
Right, stand back, stand right back. Go on here, man. Let go, take it out.
body shots again from McCaulay, but Ramiki's a fairly strong character, and he's taken them so far without too many problems. There's an absolute clash of heads there, and Ramiki is very badly cut over the eye. In fact, it's right in the middle of his forehead. And the blood fairly streaming down. As a little nick has just opened. And I don't think this is going to continue much longer. Larry O'Connell had a glance and decided it wasn't too serious. It certainly wasn't impairing the boxer's vision. But Ramiki is absolutely pouring blood. Doesn't seem to bother them too much. And yes, I think this is going to have to be stopped because there is simply far too much blood. I think Larry O'Connell is going to have that cut looked at. And Ramiki is going to have to be retired. Yes, Larry O'Connell has stopped it. McCaulay himself will be disappointed with that because things were shaping up nicely for him. He was approaching his second professional fight in a truly professional manner, and McCaulay himself will not be all that terribly pleased, as will Les Ramiki, that had to be stopped because of a cut to Ramiki.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes, 50 seconds into the second round. The referee stopped the contest.
Well, there it is again. And it was a clash of heads. McCaulay certainly felt it. Totally accidental. So back they come again for the second chapter. McCaulay, this is his third professional fight. 20-year-old, the former ABA lightweight champion. He spent quite a great deal of time in Manchester before moving down to London. He boxed for the Hogarth Club. McCaulay managed by Barney Eastwood and trained by Eddie Shaw. Has had problems over the last year or so with his nose, which was broken in the ABA final in 1985, and he's had a couple of operations on it. Brisk start to the contest. Ramiki's last fight before he fought McCaulay in Belfast in October was against Paul Hodkinson, another of the up-and-coming stars in the Eastwood stable. And already McCaulay's punching getting through to Ramiki. And there's a lot of blood coming from Ramiki's nose. Blood too coming from the nose of McCaulay, so any amount of good solid punching. Oh, that's good from McCaulay, nice little combination. Well, a very, very good first round. So, Eamon McAuley, a very brisk start indeed, and he avoided the right hand of Ramiki and stepped in with a good left and then a right. Eamon McAuley in white of Belfast, and Les Ramiki of Manchester, now boxing out of Croydon in the Freddie Rick stable, and a lot of blood on the face of Ramiki. In October last, it was blood coming from a cut in the middle of his forehead following a clash of heads that caused this fight to be stopped. McCauley getting through though with some solid punches. McCauley very anxious to get his professional career really motoring. McCauley covering up well. Ramiki, who's been a pro for almost 5 years, looking at his corner, and I don't think he's all that happy. He's looking for assistance from his corner. And McCauley again doubling up the shots to the head and body. Ramiki's face just a mask of crimson at the moment. And Ramiki looks very wary. He's back on his heels. Ramiki looks as if he wouldn't mind a way out. Barney Wilson has taken over to his corner. There, with a minute left in the second round, which is where it was stopped last October. They're just wiping some of that blood away, but Ramiki really just shuffles out. And I doubt if his heart is in this. Probably looks isn't just as bad as it looks, as far as Ramiki's concerned. McCauley very, very busy indeed. He's getting in with those body shots. Well, they both look as if they've been sprayed with paint. And Ramiki comes back rather wearily, and he looks at Freddie Ricks and shakes his head. And Ricks sponging him down, trying to encourage him perhaps to keep going. He's gone further than he did the last time he met Dave McCauley. Still shaking the head, the 24-year-old. And they've stopped it. Yes, I think Ramiki not able to continue. That constant pressure from Eamon McAuley was enough. Ramiki has decided that discretion is very much the better part of valor, so it's a third professional win for Eamon McAuley and his second over Les Ramiki.
Ladies and gentlemen, Les Ramiki is expected to continue at the end of the second round. And last round.
So here we are then with the final 3 minutes of this super featherweight contest. Eamon McAuley from Belfast, 21 years old, weighing 9 stone 5 3/4, and the Jamaican-born George Jones from Telford, 25 years old, and weighing 9 stone 6. Hard contest all the way. McCauley's done the majority of the work, most of the scoring. But he's never, ever looked like putting Jones on the floor. And this seasoned pro, George Jones, has stuck to his guns and, well, occasionally produced a dangerous counterpunch. So it's looking, at the moment, very much like a points win for McCauley. And that'll be his 4th professional win. Jones is one of those pros that the game couldn't do without. He boxes all over the country. He's always there when he's needed. He'll come at a moment's notice. Always gives value for money. And I dare say, after this one, which is hard enough, he'll probably be boxing again in a fortnight's time somewhere. McCauley now, I'm sure, feeling the pace, finding it harder now to mount the attacks. Not very much behind the punches. It's just possible that Jones is the stronger of the two now. Whatever's been won has been earned, and it looks like a comfortable points win for McCauley. And Paddy Sarr comes across to the young Irishman, 21-year-old Eamon McAuley, who marks up 4 wins out of 4 as a professional. Clearly has a bit of a future in this game, but let's also commend his opponent, George Jones, good campaigner, and went 6 hard rounds.
Tony Borg in the white trunks from Cardiff. This is his 15th professional fight. He's won 7 and lost 7. Fairly good record as an amateur, a Welsh featherweight champion and ABA runner-up in 1982. McCauley, the ABA champion in 1985, having knocked out the Charlie boy Carl Crook. And he really looked as if he was out of that contest. He produced a real cracker of a punch to dump Crook on the seat of his pants. Good right hand to the body from McCauley. Well, Borg just showing a little bit more experience than McCauley. This is the second fairly durable boxer that McCauley has been with recently. His last fight in February of this year was against the Jamaican-born George Jones in London, and he won that on points. And it took him all his time to do that. McCauley just getting caught the odd time. McCauley just stepping up the pace a fraction, but he's left it a bit late as far as this round's concerned. In the dark trunks, Eamon McAuley from Belfast in his 5th professional fight. He's won all 4 so far, 2 inside the distance and 2 in points. And he's finding the more experienced 22-year-old Tony Borg from Cardiff quite a handful. Borg in his 15th fight has won 7 of the 14 so far and lost the other 7. Borg been in with a lot of useful people, including the man who's now looking after his interest, Steve Sammy Sims, the former British featherweight champion, and a man who beat Borg last summer for the Welsh junior lightweight title. McCauley, the 1985 ABA lightweight champion. Well, they've decided after 4 fairly dour scrambling rounds that they might just like to step up the pace a little bit. What a right hand, and there was a bit of a push behind it as well, and the head of Tony Borg came whacking off the canvas. He's up at 8, and I think he's more in danger of the thump in the back of his head in the canvas than anything else. He's got it right this time. This isn't going to go too far. Borg down. He really is in all sorts of trouble. Barney Wilson quite rightly has stepped in. His knees have gone. He's wobbling. Well, a dramatic finish just over 1.5 minutes into the 5th round, and Eamon McAuley has won his 5th professional fight. It looked for a long time that Tony Borg was going to give him all sorts of trouble, as indeed he was, but McAuley finally caught up with him. Well, that right hand, it was a delayed action one. Borg leaned right into it and then swept backwards, and I think the thump in the back of the canvas didn't help him.
25 seconds into the 4th round. The referee stopped the contest.
Here it is again. It really was a good right hand on the temple, and then there was a clash of heads, and then the head of Borg hit the canvas. So Eamon McAuley delighted with that, the 21-year-old, his 5th win in his 5th professional outing. Yes, he was on the retreat all the time. McCauley, sensing victory, was there. The right hand caught him a little left, and Borg at that stage was really gone.
We'll join the action at the start of the 2nd round.
A little bit of swelling underneath the left eye of Eamon McCauley, and Lucas obviously has landed with that right hand. Good jab from McCauley. As Lucas trying to hold on there, McCauley's body punching, getting through to him. McCauley making light of the uppercut from Lucas. McCauley covering up well. Again, one or two of those rights from Lucas getting in. Probably a little bit too close for McCauley's good. 2 minutes gone in the second. Oh, great right hand. Oh, what a cracker. Well, Lucas really taken by surprise from that. And he's up. He's up. 30 seconds to go to the end of the second, and I doubt very much if Nick Lucas is going to survive it. He's hanging on, and McCauley, well, perhaps Lucas may just do that, because he's holding on desperately. Barney Wilson separating them, and McCauley trying to put him away. 10 seconds to go, and Eamon McAuley, inspired by that tremendous right hand, trying to stop this, and Lucas trying desperately to hang on. And he's managed it. Well, Nicky Lucas will need every single drop of that water to try to refresh him, because he had been doing reasonably well to keep away from Eamon McAuley. McCauley had been going for him with some very good body shots, but he changed it, and that was it. Oh, right in the button. That really was a very good punch, but Nick Lucas really walked onto it. Here it is again. And, oh, you felt that right over here. Oof. Nicky Lucas has had a minute in which to compose himself. And out he comes. But that really was a thumping right hand from Eamon McAuley in that second round. And McCauley trying it again, and he did catch him. And McCauley just trying to find a way through the Swindon man's guard. Lucas trying that uppercut, and McCauley really doesn't seem to be affected by anything at all that Lucas is handing out. So McCauley just looking for an opening. McCauley's punching much too quick for Lucas. He's going to the body and then to the head. And Lucas now looking a bit more tired. A bit of advice from the McCauley corner saying open him up, and he does just that. And Lucas down on his knees, looks at his corner. Barney Wilson has stopped it. Quite right too. Quite right too. Would have been pointless. Ricky Porter consoles Nicky Lewis. Eamon McCauley, a very good night's work indeed. A little glancing right hand to follow up the left, and down he went. And a little scything right hand really just cut Nicky Lewis right down to his knees.
So a third round decision for McCauley, and victory in his 6th professional fight.
All in black from Fulham is 20-year-old Andy Furlong, who has won all but 5 of his 18 professional fights. His opponent in the dark blue trunks with the gold trim, the boy with the tattoos, the mustachioed Eamon McAuley, the 21-year-old from Belfast. Yet another one of the up-and-coming fighters in the Eastwood stable, and another former ABA champion. In his case, he was the ABA lightweight champion in 1985. So Eamon McAuley, his 7th professional fight. He's won all 6 so far, 4 of them inside the distance, and this by a long way the most experienced man he's had to face. So quite a test for Eamon McAuley. Good left hand from him in the opening minute of the first round. 6 threes at 9 stone 12. Quarter of a pound between them. McCaulay 9, 9 1/4, and Furlong at the weigh-in today 9, 9 1/2. Furlong, the southpaw, and a solid puncher. McCaulay won't mind that at all because he likes to trade punches. Stopping Swindon's Nicky Lewis in the 3rd round. A very impressive win, that. But he's going to have to step up a little bit in approach if he's going to dispose of Andy Furlong, who's been around as a pro since November of 1985. A good brisk first round, this. Half a minute remaining in the first. McCaulay really finding Andy Furlong pretty tough. So Furlong certainly has been getting through. As tough an opening round as Eamon McAuley from Belfast would want. The 21-year-old in a 7th professional fight, and Andy Furlong in his 19th. I think perhaps surprised McCaulay with his range of punches. So McCaulay will have got some pretty sound advice from trainer Bobby McAllister and from manager BJ Eastwood. Furlong can certainly punch. McCaulay a little bit on the low side with the left and the right. Furlong taller by a couple of inches, but there's only a quarter of a pound in it. McCaulay trying to get through to the body. And he changed it nicely to the head. And that did catch Furlong. A very good two-fisted attack by McCaulay, and it was the right hand that put Furlong down. And McCaulay now looking to try to stop this in the second. A great right hand. And Furlong really not looking happy at all. Well, a good first round by Furlong, who may just have shaded that first round. But Eamon McAuley punishing him. Left from Furlong that time. Good round from McCaulay. Half a minute. And McCaulay now looking a bit vulnerable, but what a good contest. Seconds remaining. little bit of blood on the nose. And again, McCauley, as the round finished, walking into a left hand from that man, Andy Furlong. Oh, a cracking second round. Well, a good second round it was. McCauley a little bit on the low side there, and a good left hand into the ribs, and Furlong really felt that one. So McCauley coming forward and doing some very good work, and Furlong doing well to get out of his way. Good first round from Andy Furlong. Eamon McAuley came back well in the second, but showed that he is still a little bit on the vulnerable side. McCauley being told to vary his punches. He's been using the left fairly well, but it was the right hand that caught the southpaw Furlong. And McCauley wobbled again, and he's got caught once or twice too often, I suspect, for his liking, by the left hand of Andy Furlong. And he walked into that. Better variation from McCauley. Good left, McCauley. Furlong is having to cover up and hold on. Furlong much more experienced than the Belfast boy. Well, now McCauley's just getting a little bit on the cheeky side. A little bit of blood coming from the nose of McCauley, and Furlong is retaining his composure and is making McCauley miss. Well, that was a shove. A minute to go in the third. McCauley taking a couple and getting a couple back. There seems to be a little bit of discussion in the McCauley corner. Barney Eastwood is telling the referee, Barney Wilson, that McCauley has got a leg problem. And I'm thinking, are we going to get another stoppage? Another retirement? I think we are. I think Eamon McAuley has got a leg injury, and he is going to forfeit this contest because of a retirement, and that will put the end of his unbeaten professional record.
Then for the last one of the night, on the right, the former ABA lightweight champion Eamon McAuley from Belfast, now boxing out of London, against Greg Eggbunawee from Hackney. Interesting one, this. McCauley giving away a couple of pounds weight here. Nice little right over the top of Egbbunawee's left there from Eamon. Big, wide, slapping hooks there from Eggbunawee. Nice left to the body there from Eamon McAuley. untidy here as Greg hangs on. A good stiff right there from Greg. And Egbunaway looking good when he throws punches, but a bit untidy when he's under pressure. And dangerous stuff here from both lads. Huge punches missing. Well, not an awful lot in the first round, but I'll just give a very slight edge there to Eamon McAuley. Puncher. Good left hook there from McCauley, trumps Egbunaway up at 4. And they both fall to the floor here in an untidy mess. And referee Reg Thompson telling them to tidy things up and calm it down a bit. And McCauley, a very snappy puncher. And obviously a hard one as well. Greg a wee bit sloppy with his shots. And down again for another left hook. Doesn't like that. But got lots of spirit. And McCauley wants to watch it, doesn't walk onto a big shot. Looks dangerous, does Greg. Oh, good left hook there from Egbunaway. And he knows it. Real characters. Oh, good right from him. As a real character is Egbunaway. A bit Kirkland Langish with his approach. Well, good round there for Eamon. Had Greg on the floor twice.
Round 4.
Egbunaway storms out for work here. Good right there from Eamon. But Egbunaway now dangerous with these punches of his. Oops, and McCauley. Oh! Lands on the ring apron. He says it wasn't a punch to put him down, he just fell through. I think Greg would disagree with me. Or him. Once again, Reg Thompson trying to calm things down. So a good start to this fourth round by... Oh. And again, a good left hook there from McCauley to straighten him up a bit. Frantic stuff this. And Greg wants this one. Good left hook there from Eamon McAuley, and that one's got Egbunaway in trouble now. But still a very dangerous puncher is Greg. Oh, again a tremendous left hook from Eamon McAuley. Well, it was all Egbunaway at the start of this round, but now McCauley's come back into it. Both connecting with big free swings. McCauley's the more educated puncher. I like this. Well, I'm going to call that an even round. And McCauley will have obviously taken heart from his successes in that second round, dropping Greg a couple of times with left hooks. He was short. But Greg has shown a lot of heart actually to get up from those punches and still come fighting back. It's a snappy, flashy puncher, as I said before, is Greg. And hurtful, I'm sure, when they land. Spiteful right there from McAuley. Nice left right there, and again from Greg McAuley. And a good right there from Greg, and again. And he's got Eamon in a little bit of trouble here as Eamon hangs on. And good stuff this now, toe to toe. And if McAuley were to educate his punches and not make them so sloppy, he must have been watching Tony Lang. McAuley, he's got his move. And again, huge left hooks from McAuley getting through, but McAuley is still there banging away with him. Greg's laces come undone. McAuley now, been a bit theatrical here in this fifth. Good left hook there from McCauley again. I think it's all a matter of who connects first. Nice long right from Greg McAuley. The difference in this fight could have been the second round, in which McCauley had McAuley on the floor twice from left hooks. I personally gave him the round by a full point, but again a punching left hook there for Eamon McAuley. But McAuley's full of guts. Took a second to recover himself, but came blazing back. Hard fight this for both lads. They've both only been in the fight in the morning, that's for sure. Again, nice punches from McCauley. He'll just be shading this round now. Well, slam bang to the finish. I think, yeah, that's very McCauley. Excellent win from there. Very disappointed, Greg Egbunawee. He put up a great fight.
And looks like Bushel's got a slight swelling to his right eye. There's round 3 coming up. And Bushel, they're not really committing himself to his jab. He's just poking it out without stepping in behind it. Likes to make an opening for his right. Snappy left to the body there from McCauley. Unusual punch that in a pro ring, but effective because it's not expected.
Pushing back, Rick, pushing to the rods. Pushing to the rods.
But either way, good learning fight this for the pair of them. And it's the second time Ricky Bushel's been warned. Nice stiff right there from McCauley again. But just caught Bushel as he was going back from it. Both got a good repertoire of punches.
Come on, Ricky!
Nice right there, followed by the left hook from Bushel. They hurt. McCauley sensibly just hanging on inside.
Rick, keep working it wide. Hands up, Rick.
And again, nice little left hook there from McCauley.
Jab, Rick. Let's see, Rick, let's start bullying it now. Come on.
Now Bushel marked underneath the left eye, as well as around the right. Let's hope they don't turn to cuts. Ooh, big left hook there from McCauley. That one hurt. Shook him. And now Bushel keen to stay out of the way, but again takes another shot. Yes, I knew that hurt him, and he's taking another count here in the third. Up at 8, doesn't look too happy.
Come on, Rick, come on. Hold it, Rick, hold it.
So McCauley's sensing victory here in the third. And Ricky Bushel's still not fully recovered. Bleeding from the nose, but he's a dangerous puncher, and this is when he could be his most dangerous. Well, he gets through the third. McCauley has scored 2 knockdowns. One in the second and one in the third. Nice right to the body again from McCauley. And, well, I'm not sure. Well, that's probably half punch, half slip. And I think maybe Rick Bushel might have had enough here. He's marked up around the face. He's been hurt as well. McCauley, a very sharp puncher, as I said before. Does it right. He's very correct.
On the move, jab and move.
Pretty tight defence as well, although Bushel's pierced it often enough. McCauley looking to stick, Bushel looking to stick close to him. And Rick Bushel possibly not fully recovered from the sticky kick in the third.
Hands up, Rick, come on.
But as I say, Bushel's always going to be in with it in this one with a puncher's chance.
Come on, Rick, let's get back into it.
Well, an awkward looping right there from Bushel that landed on McCauley's forehead, fortunately for him.
That's the keep to the right. Working.
This one for the connoisseur, really. It's had its moments, but really one for the purist. Like things done right.
Let's see, Rick, follow him to work with him, Rick, don't into it. Let's see, Rick, keep working. Let's see, Rick, there we go.
And swapping big shots here.
Follow him, Rick, keep working, Rick, both ends.
Nice little left right there from McCaulay, and he's got the wind in his sails. A left hook, right hand, drops. Rick Bushel again here in the fourth. He's very game, Bushel. He's up at 9 this time. No, that's it. It's all over. So an excellent fourth round win. Eamon McAuley inflicts only the second defeat on Rick Bushel. Superb win. Had him on the floor 3 times. And he'll be very happy with that. And hopefully that would have done his confidence the world of good. But a very unfortunate ending for Ricky Bushel. As I say, he was very game. 220. And yeah, Ricky Bushel marked up around both eyes. As I say, a very game effort from Bushel, who was always in that one with the punches. And this looks to be a cracker. 6 3-minute rounds. McCaulay, of course, ABA lightweight champion way back in 1985. Beat Carl Crook. Crook, of course, went on to become British and Commonwealth lightweight champion. Fought for the European title too. McCaulay, very good left hooker. Davidson, a very smart boxer. Hits harder than he looks. Takes a good shot. And this is the first time in the ring for 2.5 years for McCaulay, and a very hard comeback, I think. And to say that Davidson has fought them all is a bit of an understatement. I'll get to that later. And I've got a lot of time for these two. Now it's good right over the top from McCaulay. So Ross Davidson in the white trunks, managed by Jack Trickett, trained by Ray Farrell. Eamon McAuley now with the McMahon Promotions. Left hook there from Davidson, just popped over the top of the right. Nice body punch. And this, I think, Eamon's fight, I think. Left right from McCaulay, nice and quick. And the last time I saw Eamon in action was when he bashed Ricky Bushel out on the floor several times. And again, a lovely body punch from McCaulay. McCaulay, I would say, was the hardest single puncher of the two. Well, they were sparring for openings in the first minute and a half or so of this round, but now it looks like McCauley's just going to take the edge. And suddenly Davidson comes back with 2 lefts. Oops, and a good body punch again from McCaulay. Nice work from Eamon. This crowd getting behind everything he does. And he'll go some to stop Davidson, I think. So the end of a very interesting opening round there, and I think McCauley's got Davidson's got the pleasure of going the distance and beating Michael Armstrong in one of their 3 meetings. Also went the full way with Kevin Kelly, the #1 featherweight in the world. Tim Driscoll, former British title challenger and world title challenger, WBO version. Colin McMillan, of course, who was WBO champion. So at this stage of McCauley's comeback, I'd say it was pretty unthinkable that McCauley can stop Davidson when those other good names I mentioned couldn't. Round 2, there's a scheduled 6 threes. Eamon McAuley in the burgundy trunks from Belfast. And trying to break up Davidson with those body punches. Good shots now, these from McCauley. And Davidson's come through rougher patches than this in his life, and well, just walked straight out of the corner. And there looks to be a lump around Eamon's left eye. Nice left right from Davidson, nice and quick. And his body punching from McCauley has forced Davidson to tuck his elbows in nice and tight, and consequently can't get too many of his own punches off. Oh, nice though from Davidson. But once again McCauley comes back, digging in those left hooks to the ribs. Good work this from McCauley. Does look the part. Davidson showing a lot of grit just to take these punches and try and work his own manoeuvres. And this has been a good round for young Eamon. When you think that Davidson has given a lot of good fighters a hard time over 8 and 10 rounds, this is a good start for McCauley. 2 gone, he's got them both in the bag.
Eamon McAuley then in the burgundy trunks, no relation to the former world flyweight champion Dave McCauley, who's from Larne. Eamon McAuley's amateur boxing was across the water in England. He won National Association of Boys Clubs titles in 1983 and again in 85, and was the London Senior Amateur Champion in 85, the year that he won his ABA title. That really was a very, very major upset, defeating Crook in the final. Russell Davidson had 2 unsuccessful challenges for Central Area titles, Super Feather and Feather, before finally securing that crown. McCauley in defense, keeping those hands well up to the side of his face and his elbows tucked in. Nice variation by McCauley, going from the head and then to the body. But like McCauley, Davidson has the elbows well tucked in, and the Belfast man hasn't been able to get through. Davidson starting to drop the left hand a little bit. McCauley maybe just beginning to vary the tactics a little bit. A lot of slapping, nothing much to worry about. solid enough left from Davidson. That was a good right from McCaulay. That was a good right. Well, the Davidson corner seemed to think that even at this early stage, McCaulay's running out of steam. Nice slashing right from Davidson, but there's a little nick at the corner of Russell Davidson's right eye. Now, it doesn't look too serious at this stage. There's a tiny, tiny little nick. About 15 seconds remaining. Good shot there by McCaulay, and Davidson comes back. He's got his legs spread wide and is just soaking up what the Belfast man is dishing out. And McCaulay won't have much time to press home any advantage. Good finish by McCaulay, and Davidson looks at him as if to say, I can take all you've got.
Halfway stage, round 4, and Eamon McAuley was rattled quite badly, I thought, in the third by some very good rights from Ross Davidson, and the odd left hook as well. And Davidson trying to pick it up here in the fourth, where he left off in the third. So this is not a foregone conclusion in favour of McCaulay. And this 2.5-year layoff can't have done Eamon McAuley any good. It's all right sparring, etc., etc., but when you get out there in front of the crowd and you've got a fired-up fellow in front of you, life can be a bit tough. And again, that right hand from Davidson. Very fast puncher, Ross Davidson. One of his main assets, I'd say. He was also very correct. His accuracy is good. Oh, nice right hand left hook from McCaulay, but took one. Ooh. And Davidson there caught him again with a right high on the head. And McCaulay wants to be very careful here. He's very gamely going forward, but he's walking onto punches. Referee for this one, Barney Wilson. And Eamon McAulay needs to get that famous left hook working. Good punches from McCaulay, backed up. There's not a great deal so far in this round. This is round 4 of the scheduled 6. McCaulay then suddenly puts some good punches together. Oh, takes a right though. Fought on pretty level terms so far, this one. Good round. They stare at each other after the bell. Penultimate round, then round 5. Davidson just a round behind on my card. Come here to the Lion's Den to take on the very popular Eamon McAuley, Belfast born. Every time that McCaulay does try to open up like that two-fisted, Davidson's always there to crack him back.
That's better from McCaulay, but Davidson there just showing how crafty he can be. Takes a right though. And now this is better from McCaulay. Looks like his head is cleared. But some very good defensive work from Davidson, I thought. Well, this is a tough comeback fight for young Eamon. Davidson now getting a few punches going, left hook. Such a determined man, Davidson. And again, nice fast flurries coming in from McCaulay. Head and body. Both men getting a bit tired now, and I think Eamon McAuley is probably the worst victim of tiredness at the moment, although he's still throwing some nice fast punches. And it's an excellent chief supporting contest. Oh, nice double left hook from Davidson. Body, head, then a right crashes into the middle of McCaulay's face. And just as the bell goes, too late for Davidson to make an impression on the round. Move on to McCaulay.
A well-deserved round of applause for both these boxers, Russell Davidson in white from Salford, and Belfast Eamon McAuley, the 27-year-old. This is his 11th professional fight since he turned pro in May 1986, the same month that Davidson decided to take the paid ranks, and McCaulay saying, "Come forward, I can take it." Well, that's very brave of him. He's been wobbled a couple of times. Davidson has been a very strong opponent indeed, and McCaulay doesn't want to get too confident. He's just got to jab and move and keep his man away, and on my card he'll win this. Davidson throwing wild punches in arcs and doing a little bit of slapping. Barney Wilson having trouble separating two very tired lightweights. Both natural lightweights, but they've come down there to feather. They've been boiled down for this. McCaulay bouncing nicely. Davidson, as ever, the head tucked down, comes bullocking forward. Nice crisp countering by McCaulay. There's always the danger of that right hand of Davidson scoring. A little bit of a breather in the middle of the fight from McCaulay, but he's come back well. Davidson, a look almost of resignation on his face. He's got a little nick now underneath the right eye. One of the earlier rounds, there's a little trickle appeared from the corner just above the eye. This really has been a very interesting and entertaining contest. McCaulay obviously the local favourite. And he's found Davidson's style very difficult. So don't use your head and don't push down from Barney Wilson. That's the danger punch from Davidson. McCaulay caught his man with a right. I think that maybe hurt McCaulay's hand because he gave it a wee shake. So about 30 seconds remaining. McCaulay just boxing nicely to a 9th victory in this his 11th professional contest. And Davidson, time is running out for him. I'll be very surprised if the hand that's raised is not that of Eamon McAuley. Although he doesn't want to get caught again with rights like that. There it is. McCaulay gets it. Don't think there should be too much doubt about that. And the crowd, the very knowledgeable crowd here in the Ulster Hall, agree. So, victory for Eamon McCauley, and how nice to see him back boxing, never mind here in the Ulster Hall.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Round 2 was scheduled for 6 here at the Maysfield Leisure Centre, Belfast. Eamon McCauley in the royal blue and Peter Buckley in the dark navy blue. McCauley from Belfast, Buckley from Birmingham in the centre of England. Even opening round, referee David Irvine for this 6-round featherweight contest.
McCauley is he's waiting too long and he's setting his shots up and trying to hang on. He's got to let his shots go. This is a very difficult thing to do when you haven't had actual activity in the ring. Trying to hold on to your shots, and especially when you're a big puncher like him, and wait till you get too close and then try and let your shots go. But he's got to get him off on the way in instead of waiting until he gets in there to throw punches. It's better. He's hit Buckley with a sort of a half decent left hook, but he's got to put more distance into his punches, more length into them. And he's got to be patient. Patience is a very important thing when you're a fighter.
Well, Buckley has had over 40 fights. That's 4 times as many fights as McCauley's had. He's going to use this experience to spoil and frustrate. And he's doing that. He's doing a pretty good job of it so far. McCauley's going to try and walk through him like he's doing there.
He's reaching with his punches better. He's having more success, McCauley, when he actually lets them go from further out. But there's no doubt that Buckley is extremely good at frustrating fighters and keeping them off balance and switching position and keeping that left jab out. See the way he sticks that jab out and just keeps it out there, leaves it out there. It's very difficult to come over the top of a left jab that's sort of sticking out. McCauley's having more success in this round. Again, he's trying to load up too much. He's got to get loose, be a bit quicker.
David Irvine calls a halt, breaks him off the ropes. And all the time, you just keep an eye on Buckley in those dark trunks. He's all the time just probing out with that left jab.
He's eating a good right hand there. Good shot from McCauley, but Buckley's he's very, very good at riding the punch. Turns his head, moves his head.
Coming out for round 3, and even between Eamon McCauley in the royal blue and Peter Buckley in the dark trunks. 6 3-minute rounds. This is a featherweight contest.
Buckley looks really relaxed and confident. And never seems to get frazzled by McCauley's constant pressure. Just nice and relaxed, moves around, tucks his chin down, gets his hands up. When he puts that jab out, he actually leaves it out there to frustrate McCauley.
And if he's trying to frustrate McCauley, Buckley's doing a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, I feel McCauley's starting to get his punches off and he's starting to hit the target more. He's reaching with him a bit more and he's starting to loosen out.
He's proving a very elusive target though,
yeah.
Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley is a difficult target to hit because he's moving, turning side to side, and he's proving a very slippery customer indeed. So McCauley's starting to get to him now. He's starting to chop him around the body and slow him down completely. And when he tags him properly, he'll really hurt him because he can really bang. He's just Got to not get frustrated by Buckley and not allow this sort of left jab sticking out like that to frustrate you. Push it to the side, pop that right hand over.
Yeah, and he's significantly stepping up his work rate, McCauley, in this round 3.
Yeah, he's winning the rounds, but he's still allowing this guy to keep him off balance and keep him out of the way of a good punch.
Buckley hanging on to him like a long-lost brother as he came in then. See, arms crossed in front of him. Well, that was good from McCauley. That was better. Well, I think David Irvin, the referee, could have a word with Buckley about persistent holding. He's getting away with a lot.
Yeah, but until the referee stops you, you can do it. Just carry on doing it.
That's right.
So it's up to the referee to call him up on that.
Not before time.
Winded, and I mean, McCauley landed some good shots.
Yeah.
Good shots. Look at that right hand. That's a quality punch there. What a
McCauley piling it on, and Buckley still there and still taking it and showing no signs of flinching.
He handled carefully, but because, you know, the kid's trying hard.
Come on, and again.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure McCauley's going to win this, but he's making heavy weather of it.
Yeah, he is making heavy weather of it, but I think Buckley has boxed extremely well, and he's done his usual sort of professional routine, just tucked up nice and tight on the inside, frustrated his opponent, kept his long punches going, pulls his head back very well. He's not an easy target to pin down.
That's absolutely right, Barry. Buckley is never the kind of fighter who is going to do you any favours. You've got to unlock him, and McCauley hasn't really managed to do that.
Well, the way to unlock somebody like that is to put pressure on him, immense pressure on him.
Right, absolutely
just,
right.
When you get close, don't just get in there like Eamon's doing and stop punching. You've got to get in there and work. Break up that defence. Let him not know where the punches are coming from. Hit him everywhere. Body, head, pepper him with punches.
That's better.
Come on, let's go.
But Barry, absolutely correct. The words of wisdom from a man who did just that in his own professional fighting days en route to a WBA World Featherweight Championship. You've got to work. You don't get any favours in this game.
Yeah, that's good work from McCauley. Buckley's pushing him back, and he's, again, as I say, McCauley looks ungainly when he's been forced back. He's an aggressive fighter. He doesn't like to be pushed back, and he's off balance. But he's still throwing punches. He's throwing a better quantity of punches in this round.
We're well inside the final minute of the final round, and Eamon McAuley in the royal blue, probably en route to a fairly convincing points victory over his English opponent, Peter Buckley. Remember, everything depends on David Irvine, the referee. Only the referee scores in Great Britain. 10 points to the winner of a round, 9.5, or maybe 9 if there's a knockdown to the loser. Good finish by McCauley. Here comes the bell. McCauley wins it.
Crook now just beginning to get on top with much sharper, more accurate punching with the left hand. Oh, as I say that, so he takes 2 to the mouth. Out comes his gum. Has completely disappeared. Good little uppercut there from McCauley again. Eamon McAuley from the Hogarth Club in West London. And now it's Crook's turn to come back, a left hook. So they've had a counter-piece now in this second round. Some round. Oh, and he's got Crook. Now it's gone the other way. Would you believe it? Oh, Crook walked right on to an almighty punch. And he stopped. It's all out. This was absolutely out of the blue again. McCauley seemed to be on his way to defeat. And then suddenly, he produced a punch, a right hand, and what...
Here it is again. It really was a good right hand on the temple, and then there was a clash of heads, and then the head... Yes, he was on the retreat all the time. McCauley, sensing victory, was there. The right hand caught him, a little left, and Borg at that stage was really...
Oh, great right hand. Oh, what
a bit of advice from the McCauley corner, saying open him up, and he does just that. And Lucas down on his knees, looks at his corner. McCauley trying to get through to the body, and he changed it nicely to the head, and that did catch Furlong. A very good two-fisted attack by McCauley, and it was the right hand that put Furlong down, and McCauley now looking to try to stop this in the second. A great right hand. Well, a good second round it was. McCauley a little bit on the low side there, and a good left hand into the ribs, and Furlong really felt that one.
Good left hook there from McCauley. Greg a wee bit sloppy with his shots, and down again for another left hook. Doesn't like that. Good left hook there from Eamon McAuley, and that one's got...
Dropped a bit here in the second. Oh, short right there, and he's got Bushel down. And Bushel moves straight onto that one. Ooh, big left hook there from McCauley, that one hurt. Shook him. And now Bushel keen to stay out of the way, but again takes another shot. Shots here.
Pull it, Rick, keep working, Rick, both ends.
Nice little left right there from McCauley, and he's got the wind in his sails. A left hook right hand drops. Rick Bushel again here in the fourth. He's very game, Bushel. He's up at 9 this time.
The start of round one then between two men, no strangers to success. Eamon McAuley of Manchester in blue, Neil Foran of Liverpool in red. McCauley, NABC champion at his weight in 1983. Foran, NABC champion 1984. And McCauley, the boy in blue, must win if Manchester are to stay alive in this defence of their title. They're 4-2 down, remember, so if Foran, the lad in red, wins, Liverpool will take the golden belt. Warning to Eamon McAuley, keep his punches up. He will get caught with a good right, good shot right. first round then, and not a lot to choose between these two boys, is there?
You can win this shit by boxing only. Box his head off.
The third and final round then between Eamon McAuley of Manchester in blue, Neil Foran of Liverpool in red. And I wouldn't like to separate them, I really wouldn't. The Golden Belt final, remember, hinging on this contest. McCauley in blue must win or Manchester lose the belt. Well, it's the Manchester boy, McCauley, finishing stronger. A real war of attrition, this one. Good finish from Foran, though. It really is a seesaw battle. Just when you think one of these boys is getting on top, the other comes back and confounds what you've just said. Well, if I say that Foran is ending this round the stronger, for once I would be right. The bell goes for the end of the third. No time at all for any comebacks, and too late for Manchester to have any hope at all of keeping their title if McCauley fails to get this decision.
You were very good. Credit to both lads there, mate.
Boxing last night.
Well, it is very close, of course.